What's good, everybody? This is Y and Z, a conversation between the generations. I represent Generation Y. That's half of the equation. The other half of this equation, because you're recording this week, I don't know where you're going to be on the other side, whichever one I'm not on, the Z in this equation, represented by none other than Xavian D. Lewis. Welcome to Y and Z, my brother. How are you this week? Yeah,
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm doing amazing. Enjoying this 23rd year of life already. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We in there, boy.
first week.
So I'm just feeling amazing, man. Had that 23rd birthday happening on last week, so I'm just super excited. Life feeling good, bro. But unfortunately, it's the first of the month.
The Bills.
Ah!
Bills.
And I haven't reached that tax bracket where I don't care about the first of the month. Yeah.
It'll be nice one day. We can only dream. Like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna get right to it this week because we gonna have a good conversation here tonight because we got to talk about Sinners. We would have talked about it last week, but Uncle Shannon went and did what he did, and then I didn't get a chance to go see it until this past weekend because being the wife of a parent and things of that nature. But anyways, Sinners, my God, hallelujah. Let's just get into it.
What do we start? Do we start with a question? Do we just start with I don't even know where to start the movie.
How'd you feel about the movie? Let's put it this way. Rate the movie. There we go. Let's start there. Rate the movie.
1 out of 10.
1 to 10, 10 being 10, 1 being low.
This movie is a 10. I will accept anything above an 8.5 if anybody wanted to go that low. But just maybe it's recency bias. Maybe I just got to sit with it a little bit while longer. But upon immediate watch, I'm like, oh, this movie is a
10. It's a 9.75. Like
I mean,
there's a couple of the smallest things I will ding it for, but that could actually, depending on what happens in the future with this.
Correct.
But we'll get into that in a second. But this is one of the best films I've seen in a long time. Like this was just good and enjoyable ride.
Isn't a Marvel film or just has this stupid, dumb budget, and it is so amazing.
I mean, he had I don't want to call it a high bar, but he had a bar to pass. Outside of being the black movie film kind of bar, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about when we first learned of this movie a year ago, and it was Jim Crow South, vampires, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. Let's be honest, there were questions. People were like, wait, huh? But we were all like, okay, sure, fine. I'm here for the ride. We get the trailers. The trailers give away maybe a little bit too much, but they don't really tell you. Like, the trailers just say, yeah, black people, Jim Crow South, vampires. Because I'm sitting there watching the movie. Like, I'm always curious what somebody who didn't know the vampires were in this might have thought. Because as one who's sitting there knowing the vampires are in this, sorry, full spoilers.
Oh, we don't spoil the whole movie. Just
sorry, we getting into it. If I didn't know knowing that there was vampires, I'm sitting there for the ride, and like that ride of the vampires don't even come in till this point. And so it's what I love most about it is it took me on a ride. I never knew where it was going. No. Even knowing what the major plot thing was, I didn't know where the movie was going, and that was enjoyable. I couldn't figure it out. It wasn't like, oh, I know they're gonna go here.
And you know how some movies will take you on that ride, but even after you finish the ride, you'll be like, I'm still confused. This movie left you unconfused. You were not confused about how you got to the point you were getting to, because it was like he would drop a crumb at the beginning of the movie and it would make sense over here.
Yep.
So what made you question it? He made sure all questions leaving the movie were answered while still leaving you hungry for more. After you left the movie, you're like, oh my God. So what were they doing from this point to this point? What were they, like?
Well, even like taking okay, vampires show up. We're at that point in the movie. You're like, okay, yep, it's about to get wild. But even then, at that point, you're like, okay, what's really the crux here?
Right.
And
what are they trying to do?
And then they tell you in a way, they're like, okay, yeah, we just got to survive because of the whole not coming inside. Okay, We just got to survive the night. Okay, cool. I'm about to see them in this last act survive the
Yes.
night. Nope. 10 minutes later, Asian lady like, come on, motherfuckers, get in here. And it's like, okay, so we're not going to survive the night. We're just going to get to the shits. Okay, I'm here for that too. And then it just kept, I couldn't lock it down. Like, okay, I know what's about to happen. No, it was just constantly, flip, or switch. Oh, no, we're going this way. We're going this way. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm here. And this is amazing and incredible.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know where to start. Let's start with this. Michael B. Jordan deserves to win an award for this movie.
I don't know if I'll go that far. I won't go that far. It's Michael B. Jordan being Michael B. Jordan, and Michael B. Jordan's a cool, good-looking dude. Like, no offense. No.
So you thinking both people are just two variations of Michael B. Jordan himself, and not necessarily him playing a person?
There are very much so slight variations in the character. And point number one being that opening scene with both the Michaels was pretty much I can do this very well. Here's them interact. Because literally that scene, like the whole passing the scene, like literally just, yeah, here's the tech. These dudes are interacting smoothly and it is what it is. And I was like, yep. And yeah, throughout the film, there's distinctive, differences between the two. But in general, am I going to call it the best acting performance of all time? No, because let's put it honest. You saw that Marlon trailer before the film. That's straight Oscar bait right there. And right. So I don't want to see. Michael's good, but I'm not going to call it Oscar-worthy performance here. I'm just being honest.
But I'm not going to say Oscar either. I'm just going to say, but he deserves to win some form of an award.
Give him a BET, sure, fine, whatever. Anyway, yeah, okay. So let's take it like this. This first third of the film. Let's call it the first third. The build up to the party. What stands out for you?
Man, let me see. So the fact that, me growing up in Mississippi, I very much know Clarksdale. Like, I'm like, okay, this is Mississippi Delta. This is Jim Crow. I'm enjoying all of this. Like, I'm enjoying at that point. I'm enjoying how accurate it's looking, right? It looks very accurate. It feels very accurate. And I watched it at IMAX. I'm feeling like I'm
jealous. I want to see it. Yeah. And I heard apparently this is the last weekend coming up to do so. Because
you need to go see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
I felt transported there while still there's just, and in my head, I'm like, oh, two twins, black, come from Chicago. That line about Chicago ain't nothing but Mississippi with tall buildings. I said, you right. I'm in the movie trying to calm myself down because I'm like, I've been saying this for years. Chicago is nothing but if you put all of Mississippi in one city.
What I love about that first third is it's a world in motion. It's not we get that expository in the beginning that yes, music across these cultures can do this thing. Great. And then we get dropped into this world and it's not a bunch of exposition. Hey, I'm such no, we are literally, as one of the things I love is the part I have to ding a little bit this movie about is this first third. Because I asked one of my homeboys and his complaint was they put a lot of stuff in that it didn't pay off, which I get. I understand. But but I think that can pay off in the future, which we'll talk about on the back end. But yes, there is a lot of stuff building this world in this first third, but it was enjoyable. I was here. I was like, yeah, who's this
right?
person?
And
who's this person?
Would you consider that initial introduction to Remick? Yeah, that was still going to be considered the first third of the movie where we see the Native Americans rolling up on the house.
That's just about the tail end of the first third.
That scene right there was so good to me. Them Native Americans said, "Oh, okay." The sun going down.
Oh yeah, it was. We about that life. We here to get this fool. Hey, yo, we gotta do this before the sun go down. Oh yeah, you right. Hey, y'all be careful. We out.
Y'all have it's like when you tell a person you have exactly the day you're meant to have. Don't have a good day. Just have exactly the day you're meant to have. And that's exactly what those Native Americans told them. It was so good. I think even the introduction, like you didn't even realize in a sense that this was a vampire you were watching come to their house. Like unless you had seen the trailers, like if you really went into this movie blind, you would have been like, oh, why is his skin burning? Is it like chemicals? Is that something to do with it? You don't even recognize that you're experiencing the vampire introduction to the house.
Well, because the best thing is the movie isn't like a crazy kooky monster movie. No, it's this old South Negro movie, and then you throw this element in it as if it exists in this world, and it's a great playground.
Such a great play because I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest movie buff, but I don't think I've ever seen these two worlds collide.
No, not like this. And we're gonna get through this first third because it's so deep. Like we only got a little. I could go on this movie. Anyways, I love the character introductions because once again, it's
Yes.
everything's moving along. It's not, hey, I'm so and so. No, it's we've existed before, we've met before, we've talked before, previous relationships. We're just building from this point on. So yeah, shouts out Delroy Lindo as the blues man. Side, I saw Scotty Beam make a point when that she was like, she said Delroy Lindo literally became the physical manifestation of blues in this movie. And so I'm thinking in my head going into this movie, I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna be some grand thing. Nah, that scene hit early in that car, Delroy, and when he hit it, I said, "Oh, I see what she's talking about."
Delroy is
that thing took over like spirit.
Delroy is so good, and I think we enjoyed him just being this comedic relief.
He was the older black man.
I mean, he was the older black drunk who had experienced life, and now he's just at the point in his life. He's like, okay, whatever will be, will be.
He done lived the blues, and he's just like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I got all the corn liquor I can drink.
Gonna be there next week, because the one that I'm gonna be at tonight is gonna be there the week after that. The week
been there for the last 10 years. He's gonna be here for 10 years more. Yeah, and I got all the corn liquor. Yeah, great.
That whole scenario right there. That truly, and I wish people would understand. That truly is how you approach the older generation. Like that was just such the embodiment of a whole generation of people with that. I know you trying to get something young and tend to, to spark something up, but I'd rather go with what's tried and proven.
What's reliable. Yeah. So great there. You got Stack's girl there, the light skin passing. We're gonna get to her in a little death. You got Smoke. He got him and Wakumi. I said, ooh, they gave Michael all the sisters, and I was not mad. When she took that man by his heart, and you know what I mean by his heart, and said, your body ain't forgetting me. And what was that? I said, ooh, she don't have to speak to that man. She don't have to speak to that man.
And then Miles, crazy. I've known Miles a long time, like at least in the gospel, music community. Yeah. Miles is very known because he was a young kid who started off singing pretty early. And he was just like a child star for the gospel music industry. But just seeing him first acting role. Now, of course, it's not like blown out of the water acting, but it's so impressive to hold your own with that star. I mean, what I would feel like is a star-studded cast. I mean, it's not the biggest names.
It lies on him. The crux lies as much as Michael B. Jordan is a star. No, the crux kind of lies.
Correct.
With Miles, that's saying
no matter how much, if Michael B. Jordan would have acted his whole butt off, if Miles' acting was horrible, it would have been a bad movie.
So let's get to the second third because this is the first third is setting this world up, and it's Ryan putting all the stuff on the table that he about to make the meal with.
Right.
And then this second act, he is whipping it up, serving it to you.
I don't even.
This jukes. Number one, music is crucial to this theme. I wouldn't call it a musical, but there's just maybe just far away. It almost could be, but the music in this here movie, and I was listening to the soundtrack just earlier, and my God, like that music, as you said, you felt.
I was like,
it put you there.
Ryan Coogler, he really impressed me with this movie. That's all I'm gonna say. The amount of like learning that he must have had to do about what that era of music represent, what it sounds like.
No. He had to learn some stuff, but it's that nature. It's I heard somebody say it's that river of black music. And let's just talk about it because it all coalesces in this scene at the juke joint when the party kicks off and Miles gets up to sing a song. Let's go through the scene real quick because I've watched it a couple times and it's
a lot to digest.
It's a lot to digest. And side note, time out. That's one of the things I like about this movie is why it's such a complete movie is I ingested a lot during my initial watch.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to going back to it because there's so much stuff I know to pick up. But anyways, which makes this a great rewatch. But anyways, okay. So this juke joint seat, he comes up. Delroy's character is like, he about to sing. Delroy's like, nah, son. Tell him who you are and where you from. Giving him that old, like, let me show you how this is. This is how you do it, son. And then he get into that song. And bruh, When I tell you, I cried during this scene. At the end of it, I was just sitting there and just tears started falling. I was just like, my God, that was beautiful.
Oh, I was sitting there, mouth open. I
I
was like,
It kept building, and that's the best thing. Like even so, if you haven't seen the scene, there's no real way to describe it. This scene literally takes you from just shows you the importance of this here black music. Why black music is so important. It just
correct.
it
I don't like I said, I've when I say I've never in my life seen anything like that one scene.
So Sammy's playing, and again we get the voiceover talking about how there are those who are special that with the music, and they're able to tap in with the ancestors, past and future, which we heard that was coming from the beginning. We got that in the beginning, so it's like, okay, cool. Oh, this is the moment it's happening, and so then you see some of the ancestors show up. Okay, you see the African man, he playing this little thing. You see some dancing, and then you get a Bootsy Collins-esque figure playing the. Okay, cool. That's the ancestor of the future because you're talking past and future. Now most projects would have stopped right there because at that point you're like, yes, it's making sense. This is beautiful. The music is going. I'm in touch with it, and it's evolving. And then the camera keeps going, and you get
going,
and you get. Well, before we get there, sorry, I got to take a step back because as Sammy starts singing, I love the beautiful. I had to watch the scene a couple times ago via methods, but anyway, the girl he was trying to holler at when he goes up there to sing, she's.
Oh, Pearline.
Yeah, Pearline. She not having it. That man starts to sing. Wakumi is her character is the first one to notice. You see her look up like, wait, because she knows she in touch. She in touch. Delroy's character, he feeling it. He like, yep, this is it right here.
This boy got something special.
You see that glance between Smoke and Stack? Smoke is kind of looking like, whoa, this is real.
And then Stack is almost like, we about to make some money off this.
He's like, we about to make some money. So he's seeing the potential. He's like, we about to make some money. Smoke was like, wait, what are we touching here? And then you see old Pearline. She starts smiling. She's like, ooh, yeah. And she starts feeling it. So anyways, you get the Bootsy thing. And so the way that scene, it just starts growing. So yeah, then you get the DJ and you start to hear the scratching along with the funk.
You hear the 808s. I'm like,
808s. And then it keeps going. Then you got the African drummers. You got the drummers coming in and it just keeps going. Then you got the bounce beat going on. You start to see some twerking. Then you got the Asian
watch this. This is where Ryan was like, you know what? You thought that this was just a black moment.
No.
But this is the music moment.
You see
you get the Asians in there too.
The cross-cultural. We bringing that spirit to see the Asians. And you see in the party, everybody having a good feel time. Man, when I tell you, I'm like, that was just a sense of spirit and being free. It was literally the best climax that was one of the best climaxes because at that point is when you insert vampires. Because you get the Asian ancestor doing the twirl dance, and then literally as he pierces it, the roof is on fire. They burnt that mug down, but they still dancing, grooving in the spirit. And who show up when we just trying to be free and have a moment? None other than that white man on the hill who observing and decide he wants some of that just because he wants it.
And then even trying to understand as, because he's the antagonist and we're just trying to understand why is he coming after them. And then you realize that he's looking to grab what Sammy has, the ability to connect to his ancestors.
No, he just wants to be a colonizer. He wants it just because he wants it. And he's been going around doing this because I'm going to jump ahead for a second. No, I'm not. We're going to get to that in a second. But anyway, let me finish this party because this I missed that feel. That feeling gave me that feeling of back in college, the house party. You just unwinding free, drenched in sweat. Having just them Negroes that have been working in the field, just wanting to have a good time and relax. Man, that juke was jumping and to touch that spirit. That was
that whole scene right there is what brought that. The movie was already going great. It was already on you was like, oh, this is a great movie already. But that made it it was a good movie already. That went from good to great.
The best thing is it's a black as hell movie. But there is a level you can do this movie without black characters, and I think that's what, because there's a way you do this movie with just white characters or whatever, and it can it'll change, but you can still essentially make the same film. And that's one of the things I love. This wasn't a black movie done. It's not like, it's not a black story. It's a story with black characters and black elements put in, but those things just enhance what was wrong. It's just a story, and it just happens to be told through this heavily black lens, and that's what I really kind of enjoy about it.
And what I'm also enjoying about this movie too is the perspectives that are being brought in.
Oh, so many. So
I have a perspective as a young black boy who was raised as a preacher. Who was raised as a preacher's kid. So I'm experiencing a whole different side of this movie. Then I started seeing Asians who watched the movie who were catching stuff that I didn't catch. They were like, did you know it's a bad omen as an Asian to write things in red? And then they had the red juke joint sign. I was like, oh, I would have never got that.
There are so many levels to this, and that's what I love. And the fact is, yes, there is ish I didn't catch. There's ish I'm staying out the, like, because yeah, I can go watch this movie and see and find everything discussed on the internet, which is cool. But now some of these things, I can't wait to go back and learn some of these things and rewatch and see, because yes, there are so many levels to this that, yeah, as you said, your experience, you're not going to catch. Like that Asian experience, yeah, I'm not going to catch. You have to get, so yes, that those levels.
So great.
Okay, let's keep going because we're gonna run out of time and not get stuck. You got the white people show up trying to get into the park. They this looks jumping. They like, hey, this ain't for you.
This was so funny.
That was hilarious.
That initial meet and greet at that door,
hilarious, creepy, hilarious, all at the same time. We just keep it moving. Essentially, it's the white girl, the non-white girl who's passing, who get everybody in trouble. So go back to a last week's episode. Leave them white girls alone.
1/8.
They ain't nothing but trouble. In
there hunching on that man. Next thing you know, Sammy walked through. Now, first of all, hold on, let's back.
Oh, Sammy said, I want to go taste on that.
Boy, Sammy got a little taste, didn't he? That boy told him you gotta find that button.
That's that all day taste too. My man said,
she said, I walked here. Let me at least go freshen up. He said, I just want to taste. Boy, when I say that right there, gave me going.
Good times.
Get to that point, and then first of all, hilarious, by the way. You gonna let me in, Cornbread? Well, I guess so. Come on in here.
Time out. Can I pour a little out for my man Cornbread? Cornbread just wanted to come wash the door and make a little money so that hopefully he would be able to go home to his old lady and get that good old glory that he had been promised of the throat monster. That apparently, I guess she had the skills that had been holding back on. So Cornbread was like, I'm going to get this money. I'm going to go home and my lady going to treat me right. And next thing you know, my man just trying to relieve the Johnson in the woods and gets turned.
Let me just say this. Cornbread was so funny.
Natural comedy that you needed. It didn't feel forced. It was... Exactly. We as black, we're multi-dynamic. Sometimes we serious as hell, and then we can switch up and tell that joke on you in a minute and go. And they did that, and it all worked. And
talking about, I'm just out here doing what we all supposed to be doing. And what are we supposed to be doing?
So essentially, they kick all the people out the party. So unfortunately, they all get turned out into vampires, and we get the third white people song. The second one is good, creepy but good. I listened to this on the soundtrack when they turn Haley, and some of the cuts here are excellent. But then we get the third white people song. I just have to say this. You had niggas doing an Irish jig and river dancing. Ryan motherfucking Coogler had niggas doing an Irish jig and river dancing, and it worked and fit right in, because yes, you had this colonizer vampire who's essentially been doing this all throughout history. So yeah, okay, yep, he's doing it, and he got the niggas doing an Irish jig and river dancing. I was like, it's niggas river dancing on the screen.
That scene was, and that provided a little bit of comedy right there. Just like, it's so funny seeing that, but at the same time, you recognize that, oh, it's something about to pop off.
It's so layered. Again, it fits in because it makes sense with the world you built and the story you're telling. But it's also something shocking because that's not something we're going to see. We're expecting it's a joke we probably made throughout time. Watch any comedy, Def Comedy Jam, probably in the 90s, because Riverdance was big back then.
Right.
Jokes about it. But here we have, and not just anybody, you had the main cast. You had Michael B. Jordan and Haley right there next to him, river dancing, doing an Irish jig, and it made perfect sense. I'm not sitting here like, oh, this isn't working. What? Why? No, it was like, you got niggas river dancing.
And let's even touch on that right quick. Let's even touch on that. The parts of this movie that leaves you leaving questions for a prequel and a sequel. This is what I'm saying. Irish beer, Italian wine. And then you hear him talk about it in the movie. Oh, you robbed both of them and had both of them turning on each other.
Again, you got a lot of stuff in here. Like I said, we one of the beautiful things is literally this movie is literally just this interaction of these two things crossing in this one night. We don't know the pre, we only know the post of what happened within this specific Tide thing. And so, yes, let's just go ahead. We
like this movie does have supernatural aspect to it, but if this movie never had vampires inserted into it, it still would have been a banger. Let's just say theoretically they open this juke joint and the Irish and the Italian, it turned out to be a mobster movie. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the best part is I read an article that like the vampires are literally the perfect vehicle because it becomes such a reflection about race, and like this movie has so many damn layers. We don't have enough time to get through them all. All right. It's just a beautiful film. So, at the end, yes, we see Asian lady mad because they done took the husband and threatened her kids. So she inviting them in and they had this big old fight. She went out like a G. I'm not going to lie. She went out like a G.
She flamed on her back.
Unfortunately.
First of all, let me say this too. Pearline, talking about you don't want to eat that garlic. Would have got shot. Done. Delroy with all that coughing after he ate that ginger. Talking about the alcohol. She's not with all that.
She went out like a G. Unfortunately, she showed out the rest of the community to do so. I'm sure there's some commentary there, but anywho, and then they make it through the night. Everybody dead. They kill the main guy. The whole guitar, and the ending with him after he come get the clan members that were coming to kill him for
taking. My God, even that because I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't even thinking about the Klansman attire that I saw at the beginning of the movie.
Again, it's natural progression. And then he told you later, they wanted to come kill you anyway.
That was so good.
We was gonna get to you first, and then we made it past you. They still coming. Levels, layers. Yeah. The whole him going on to the glory with his wife and his child. I'm like, we really
put out that cigarette. I don't want him to get no smoke on him, Elijah.
Oh my God! And the whole thing that he wanted to because he took off his protection. What else is left for me? Layers. We can't get into it all.
What's good?
The music, bro. the potential because now you have Stack and the white girl who ain't nothing but trouble. Living on. So the beautiful thing is, let's talk about it. The beautiful thing is he set up this world. And if he wants to come back to it, which I hope he does, he can do anything.
Yes.
And again, we don't know what the direct sequel is. It could be anything. It could be something that deals strictly with the Choctaw. You could
you could spin off this in so many ways. Yep. In my head, I'm like, bro, this would have made a gas TV show. But I mean, everything don't have to be the TV. But even in the sense of a movie, bro, he could do a spinoff of the Choctaw Indians if he wanted to keep it in that Jim Crow time. If he wanted to do a little bit before that and show their time in Chicago,
we get a whole movie of the Choctaw. Essentially, we could do a whole not vampire hunters, but maybe they're immortal hunters, or they're going after all these entities and stuff. So that's what they do. So that's how, or we get a shot in the future. Maybe Stack is.
We get some in the 90s. That'll be so dope.
Afrofuturism. You could go even further. The man and his girl is going to live forever. They're here forever. So he could literally do whatever he wanted to and pick up some of these breadcrumbs that he put in that overstuffed first act if he wanted to. And the potential is there. Potential is there. Sinners, A+. If you have yet to see it and you just sat through that, best believe there's still plenty of movie to check out and you will still be
that amazed. We have not even talked about.
Words can't do justice. Like it is, you literally have to feel it and you will feel it. That's what the blues is all about. And yeah, like
Yeah.
they were more like, as you said, you were feeling this music, them hums, them hums, them
You felt the whole movie, bro.
you felt the whole movie. Before we get out of here, I just want to ask because the thought has hit me with what Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are doing, and this might be a little stretch of a hot take. I'm gonna put it together in two parts. Is Coogler the next? Is Coogler this next era Spike Lee? And especially when you throw in the combination of him and Michael and what Spike and Zell were back in the day, are we seeing that torch being passed in a way? Because what Coogler is doing with these projects and the way he is layering them and the way he is low key like building on some of the stuff that even Spike has done is
The man is a generational talent.
give him his things. And we got
If
time.
Ryan
Got
Coogler,
time with him. Time.
this is what I'm saying.
He's 30
He will be feeding us
for a while.
this genius for a long time.
I'm here to eat because I just want to taste. And I'm here to taste all that.
Miles Canton is only 20 years old. He can use him in his movies for the rest of his life if he wanted to.
He could use a lot of these characters.
It's so good. I don't know what else to say.
Incredible. Yeah. Sinners. I will be owning this hard copy because I need a physical copy. This might be it's a discussion for another day. I've heard some folks, is this better than Black Panther? Is this the most important? Like there's levels to this.
I'd fight it. I'd fight that fight.
I could go either way. But certainly either way, this is one of the most important films we've had in a
Most definitely. I agree.
time. But anyways, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining us in our review through Sinners. We did not do it any justice.
No.
The film is just too damn beautiful and gorgeous, and I'm about to go.
I go watch that jump, bro. Go watch it, bro.
I lied to you. I love the blues.
Look, peace out, y'all. Peace out.
I gotta go. Yeah, that movie was fucking brilliant. My God.